Just a man on a mission, ambition to never fail. Personality electric, he is animated male. Intelligent and wise, calm and often cool. Chris James giving opinions while also speaking the truth. Empathy and compassion. Stephen Michael is here, helping you through your traumas, helping you with your fears. These three forces combine and keep it honest. Turn up the volume, cause this is the application of knowledge.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Application of Knowledge podcast. I am Animated Mel. We have Chris James here. We have Stephen Michael. We are on episode 95. Hope you're happy to be alive, because every day we're going to thrive. You feel me? But yeah, man, make sure y'all subscribe, like this video, share this video, comment, and all that beautiful stuff. Say it now, not later, because you hear it first. You feel me?
What?
Yeah, me say it now, not later, because you hear it first. And if you get to the end of the video, you'd be like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? But most cats don't say something.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Okay. All right, let's motherfucking address it. Let's go.
Wait, what are you talking about?
You keep looking at me with these wondering eyes.
All I did, I looked over one time.
You keep looking at me with these wondrous eyes, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, yes. Nigga, I shaved my motherfucking hair. It's cut. You know
That's not shaved. It's just
it's cut. You know what I mean? It's cut low. I mean, I gotta embrace. I gotta embrace the DNA. So I welcome all the jokes. Y'all cats want to roast. I give you one episode. You know what I mean? After that, you getting blocked. You know what I mean? So,
wow.
I'm
And
sure
he will block you too.
yeah, I mean, but I'm with it.
Got that mini Vegeta going.
I mean, I literally got this Vegeta popping off. It's all good. It is what it is. Ain't shit I can do about it. I can apply all the motherfucking oils in the world. I can eat healthy. I can do all this shit. That hairline is just like, hey, cuz, hold on.
Got the LeBron going on.
Got the LeBron.
Hey, man, why don't you just tell them to hit you with some enhancements, man?
What you mean?
You know, they hit you with the little spray to put the little credit card on the business card.
I don't like that.
I don't either.
I've actually, a few years ago, was going to a wedding, and I was getting my hair cut. I was like, yeah, I'm about to go to a wedding, blah, blah, blah. And dude started spraying shit because he was like, "Oh yeah, I got something right for you." I was like, "All right, cool." It's like he about to go in, he about to hook it up, and this dude started spraying shit. I'm like, "What the fuck is this? Like, what is this?" And yeah, it looked nice, but
for a day.
No, I mean for that moment, it just looks nice. But as soon as I got home, I washed it out because I'm not a fan of any of that stuff. You know, anything that's like artificial and fake. I'm not with it. And plus I was going to a wedding. The reception was at the Rangers ballpark. It was hot outside. Fucking imagine me getting my hair cut. It's sweating.
Well,
you got black shit.
They're not going to they're fibers. So they're fibers.
What
so
do you mean?
It's plant fiber.
What I don't know if it's plant fiber, but
Well, that's the
what they spray, it basically attaches to your hair. It's not like a liquid. So it wouldn't have run in that same way, you know, like if it was hot, you know what I mean, you were sweating, it wouldn't have run like mascara or something. It's basically, it's a fiber.
I mean, I don't care.
No, I know.
I just don't like it.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I know, I understand. I'm just saying.
Mel said, I ain't wearing no units. I ain't using no fibers. I ain't using no makeup.
It's going to be what it's going to be.
I'm not getting no surgery.
Nope.
I'm not doing none of that.
It's not happening. I'm not with anything that's fraudulent.
He said, I'll go full blown MJ on you. I don't care.
I mean, you're not there yet.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I went to the barber. I was like, I want it all off. Cut it all off.
So what you gonna start? So you gonna try to grow waves? What?
You said, am I trying? You said, am I gonna try to grow waves? am I gonna get waves? I'm past waves, cuz.
Well, wait. What do you mean? Like, your hair is shorter now.
Yeah.
Why don't you just start, putting on a do-rag, laying it down,
I'm good, son.
My man, they got channels out there now. Wave growth, you get the lather. You know what I mean? You put the cap on with the shampoo. They have a whole process now. Like,
you think I should get waves?
I think Chris, that
you think I should get waves?
I mean,
or should I just say
I think at this point
it's a wrap, right?
I don't think it matters.
I should wave goodbye.
No, man. I'm saying, like, why? Listen. I
mean, it looks good from the side. You know what I mean?
I mean, the good thing is you're tall, so you know what I mean. Like,
yeah,
nobody,
girls,
people aren't usually on top of you anyway.
They go looking down.
To be honest with you, and maybe it's because I just see you. I don't see it and look at your hairline and be like, damn.
He's gonna be the hardest on himself.
That's true.
Nobody else looks at you the way you look at you.
Yeah.
So
Because like I don't
see the big deal.
I don't either. Like
I feel you. I mean, because I was in the grocery store, I was just like, nigga, don't nobody in here think what I'm thinking about how I feel about any of this. This is
nobody's thinking
all
anything.
cerebral. So I was just like, you know what? It is what it is.
Like
man.
girls are still gonna date you.
Honestly, even when I came downstairs, right, and I saw you, I didn't think of your hairline. I just said, "Oh, nigga, you cut your hair."
That's exactly what I wasn't thinking.
Never even. I mean, your hairline never even.
Yeah.
It doesn't in general. Like,
Yeah. I mean, like if both of you all cut your hair, it would be like, oh, hold on.
oh man, that'd be a huge difference.
Yeah. I mean, but I had my little tiny little fro for a little bit, but
for a long time.
I mean, since I've been here the entire time.
yeah. I mean, I try to embrace the mohawks. I like that, and I just stuck with it. So, but now it's gonna be what it is, man. So
So you keeping it low.
I'm gonna keep it on the low.
You might, man, get you some grease,
I got
man.
a soap
Get
for
you
you
some get you a do rag, man. Just see what happens, man.
See what happens.
I mean,
Get
listen.
a do rag and see what happens.
What is the harm in it?
Mel, I don't think Mel ever had waves.
Yeah,
We have a very loose curl pattern.
I had like waves on the side because I used to like what's that? You used to warm the hair, then you brush it, then you put the do rag on it. You know what I mean? I used to do all that.
I mean, what's the problem now?
I'm not, dude. I'm
It's
good.
not.
I'm not like pressed
we're
on
not
it.
in the high school anymore. Like,
What does high school? What does that have to do with? I mean, okay.
Yeah, I
under-
used to go hard with the waves. Though.
I mean, yes. Listen. I understand. If it's something that you don't feel like you want to put the energy and effort to, that's fine. I mean, if I think it's a Taurus in me. If I had short hair again,
you go for the waves.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, why not?
I didn't have waves when I started growing my hair. It's just the effort and maintenance. I got to wear a helmet every day at work. It's just
Pointless. Or
no. It's no one. No one cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
I mean, also for me, it's just the fact that laying down even if you don't get waves, laying down your hair, and it just, to me, it's a clean look. Even if you don't have waves, right? It's a clean look.
Mel, you could have laid down your hair and it would have looked like you had a Caesar cut.
I could have laid it down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the hair you had, you could have laid it down. If you had waves, because like when I had waves, I mean that's when your waves really be deep.
When your hair's long.
Your hair's long.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've always kept it shorter.
Yeah, you gotta. Now y'all know back in the day,
Yeah, Maine, Corey, and Colin. Colin still be going hard, like getting the waves.
Colin still go hard.
Y'all cats used to go.
But
hard on the waves.
wasn't nobody really messing with me at my peak. But
yeah, Chris Waves was
Peak of waves.
They spin it, then you get the 360
at the 360 at the crown.
spin.
You know what I'm saying? They was deep.
Yeah, but it's we always have those hairstyles that it is what it
Man, I
is.
used to have a what's it called? An S curl.
An S curl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had a texturizer. Are you familiar?
So like old school Bobby Brown.
Yeah. Like
You had the old school Bobby Brown.
Yeah, but I didn't. But my hair wasn't really long, so it wasn't literally like a Jerry curl, like you know what I mean. It wasn't like that. It was probably slightly shorter than you had your hair, right?
Yeah.
But when you have it, when it's at that length, and
You got any pictures? I would love to see
He
that.
got pictures. Something. I'm surprised you.
I
you
mean,
probably
we
seen
gotta remember, man. This is before digital cameras.
Yeah, you got pictures somewhere.
I mean, not digital cameras were a thing, but not. I didn't own a digital camera. This is like 10th grade.
you would have had like some class pictures or something.
I mean, there may be something in a yearbook, but at that time we didn't have money like that. We didn't get yearbooks, nothing. But when you laid it down, so you had to put the texturizer and stuff in, had to activate, and then you take a comb and you just run the comb through the hair, and the comb basically creates a wave pattern because you're basically perming your hair, so you create the wave pattern, and then it locks it in. And like my hair looked like it was wet, like all the time, but it wasn't.
Did it smell bad?
I mean, when you did it smelled like like
Chemicals.
bleach or it smells like chemicals. But then after that, it didn't. So it was short, and you had these crazy wet looking waves. I thought I was the man, right? But then I was playing football, right? So I had a helmet on, and like my hair is just it's a mess because it's basically goes straight because it's wet. And it's just like, bro, like you clearly have a texturizer. There's like, but it was a thing.
Yeah.
There was a couple guys in my school that did it.
Yeah, there was a time.
And
When
then it got
came back.
long. Then it got longer. So as it grew out, then I was able to put in like gel, and I would like run my hands through my head, and then literally I looked like a poppy with like that curly, that like a Justin Timberlake curl.
Cubano Steven.
Kind of like that. Does that make sense? Like that old Justin Timberlake when he had curly hair. Okay, maybe not. Look up a picture of him.
I didn't really look at white people like that when I was younger. I mean, I'm being dead ass.
Justin
see.
Timberlake.
Yeah, I'm being
Like
dead
his
ass.
old styles. Like his hair was curly and it was curly up top.
When he looked a little bit more innocent.
Yeah, and yeah, man, I would use gel.
Were there
and
any
do my hair?
hairstyles that women or just that we would see back in the day that was like, why the hell they got this hairstyle?
Finger waves.
Finger waves?
I hate finger waves.
Oh, that low cut, and they just
I hate finger waves.
I think some women can pull it off.
Some women can pull it off. Yes, some, but everyone was pulling it off. I hate it. It's one of them looks that yes, some women can pull it off. Okay, good. I'll give you that. But most women can't. But everybody thinks they can.
That's the thing where they literally have it laid down. It's like straight, but then they put a wave
They
in it.
use a comb and they put a wave in it.
I used to think, since they were called finger waves,
They use their fingers.
yeah,
That's what I thought too.
I thought they put their fingers in there, and I don't know
It
how
looks
it's
like
done,
it.
but because it looks like finger type stuff.
Maybe they do use the finger.
I mean, maybe at some point they use fingers. I don't know. But they use the comb.
I honestly, dude, like I didn't really.
What about the bun? You remember the bun? It would wrap up. They would like put their, then it looked like a telephone on top of their head. To me, it looked like a telephone. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? The little bun. It looks like long hair that's like wrapped, and it just like sticks up on the back of their head.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, that ponytail thing?
No, this is like a bun. It's like a cone head without the cone, but then the front they'll probably has like some kind of design or something like that. But then their hair would go into a wrap.
Oh, that cone? Like the Baps?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. But I think the Baps is the.
Man, that was trifling.
Yeah.
That was a trifling error.
I think it was called a corn.
I mean, honestly, man, like I didn't really pay attention to women's hair at that time.
You didn't?
Nah, I was young, man. I mean, also at the same time, like I grew up in Delaware, so there wasn't. I mean, girls usually just wore their hair straight. Everyone was either white or trying to look white, so it was straight hair was in. I really. So obviously, I'm going the opposite. I really loved braids or micro braids. Like I remember girls that had money, like their parents had money, would get micro braids because they were expensive, and they took.
Yeah, but they last forever though.
Exactly. So they would like right before the school started, I remember, girls would go get their hair done and it would take 6 hours.
I can't even find a name.
And they get micro braids.
My mom used to get the hairstyle all the fucking time.
For real?
Yeah.
And you hated
Not
it.
micros, but the little
Right.
telephone thing. It looked like a telephone to me, like on top of their head. It's like a bun.
I wish you could pull it up because
Nigga, y'all know.
Because your animated brain
Yeah, telephone.
is
I don't
calling
know
it a
what you're talking
telephone,
about.
and I'm like, it probably looks nothing like.
Yeah,
your
I'm
phone.
like, bro, it don't look. I don't know what style looks like a telephone.
In my mind, it was like, man, like a telephone on top of their head.
You calling long distance?
Right. I mean, but y'all know. The sisters out there know. I just can't find out the right word that'll bring up the hairstyle or whatever. But it is what it is. Let's shift gears. Is there anything pressing that you all have on your hearts that you all want to talk about? Or anything that you've seen or what's going on through y'all souls? We could talk about Thanksgiving. Because Thanksgiving just passed, and
What about it? What's there to talk about?
I mean, we obviously know how we feel about it, but just thinking back about the meals that's created in our past when we have Thanksgiving. What are some, like, how long are we supposed to have leftovers? Like, is there like a cutoff date? Because after Thanksgiving, you have all these, over preparation of meals, and oftentimes you have leftovers. But then it comes a period of time like, yo, these leftovers just heat.
Did I cook or did I go to Thanksgiving?
Or just say you have some in your crib.
Okay, someplace where I actually have all the leftovers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, how long are you supposed to hold on to leftovers?
Until they're gone.
Until they're gone.
I mean, like, okay, so I don't know. I don't think that there's a designated time, right? But I remember back in the day, like when my mom would cook, she'd do a big turkey, and usually that's one of the, like, we'd pick it apart. Like, we didn't like certain pieces of the turkey.
Yeah.
So we'd pick around certain things, and it's just like, oh, there's like pieces left, but then it gets like gelatinous, right? You have the bottom of the pan, it starts to get like gelatinous.
Yeah.
That's trifling.
And then, like, they'd be like, oh no, just heat it up and it melts. That's flavor down there. Like, okay, yeah, and people know what I'm talking about, right? But people heat that stuff up. That's flavor. They put it in broth and all that stuff. It's literally fat. Anyway, and cartilage and stuff. But the meat would usually go first, right? And I would say that probably after about 2 or 3 days, it would be gone.
Yeah.
And then you'd always have the mac and cheese would be gone first, right?
Yeah,
mac and cheese. Your the stuffing, if it was good.
Stuffing, if it was good.
Because
I used to love stuffing.
I still love stuffing.
I mean, I haven't eaten it in a while, but
Really?
man, yeah.
Any kind of stuffing?
No, and not in a while. I haven't had any in a while.
Even like a homemade vegan stuffing or anything like that? Okay.
Haven't had any
We
in a
had
while.
stuffing within the past year. At one of
I mean, usually I have it once a
events.
year. Which,
I mean, that would be nice to have it because that used to be like my favorite thing to eat. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we about to get some of this
It's
stuff.
easy to get some vegan stuff, and we've definitely done that.
it is easy. Yams usually didn't last. They if they even made it to leftovers. And then usually the last thing that would be left are the vegetables, green bean casserole, Brussels sprouts, things like that we would all probably eat first now. But those would usually probably get thrown away.
Yeah.
So I would say after about 3 days, it's probably, unless it's meat for most people,
Yeah.
it's probably gonna get thrown away.
Yeah.
Because
if you put it in the refrigerator, it also takes up the scent. Like, you start to have the food and it takes up the scent of the refrigerator, and it start to smell like I'm just like, yeah. I would say 3 days or so is probably like a good.
Yeah, and a lot of people, so we can eat the same thing. I don't know about Chris, but I know you and me, we could eat the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Because a lot of your dishes a lot of them are the same.
I'm consistent.
You're very consistent.
Hey, man.
The cooking,
Like, why?
the cooking style, the seasonings, everything.
Like, why am I going to go out of the way? Like, I'll experiment sometimes, and if I don't like
I can't remember the last time you experimented.
I experiment all the time.
I mean, do you?
Yeah. I experiment all the time. Like, anytime, like when we went to the retreat,
Okay.
like I would see certain dishes make it, like, oh, okay, I'm about to take this and I'll make it mine, and I'll just, I'll change up what the ingredients are. Or anytime I go to like just a restaurant out there, I'll
I'm
experiment.
not talking about. You try the restaurant dish at home.
Yeah, I'll make it. I'll see some. Oh, I never even thought about that, and I would try to implement it into,
Next time you do that, point it out to me.
Okay, I do it frequently.
I-
but if I enjoy it, why am I going to change it?
No, that's fine. There's no shot. I do the same thing. I cook very similar things all the time.
But also, I'm limited to a lot of things.
Why do you say that?
You're not limited.
What are you limited
you niggas
to?
eat milk and cheese or whatever. So
What's that got to do with that?
I mean, the rarity of that.
I'm just saying, I'm limited, and plus, there's certain things that I just don't agree. I don't like. When it I would love to do avocados somehow, but those makes me nauseous. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that I'm unable to consume. But but I'll try out new things.
Mel, you make it sound like we be out here chefing with meat and cheese.
Right,
and
like,
milk.
what, like-
we don't do any of that stuff at home.
Okay.
This man in this can of this.
Ain't
He's
no
talking about
meat-
this.
there's no
he's
meat
talking about
nor
this-
cheese
He's
here.
talking about this cream of mushroom that we literally have only used for the past 3 months.
I'm just saying, if I make a dish, you don't have to question if it's meat or any kind of
Well,
thing.
well,
if
why
y'all
would
make
you-
a dish,
why would you
I
just-
would have to question it. That's all I'm saying.
No, because veganism is so strict and restrictive the way you do it. That's why.
First of all, to be clear, we don't eat meat.
No, we don't
be
eat
clear.
meat.
Yeah,
No.
no flesh
What
eaters.
we eat and what he is talking about is a can of cream of mushroom that literally we just started using, and apparently it comes in contact with milk or something. I don't know. There's some type of milk maybe product in it. I'm not even sure.
Or if y'all got some recipes y'all want me to try out, I'll try some recipes.
Mel,
no, there's a lot of
most
I
of
mean-
the food we make is for you could eat.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying as far as the my option selection when it comes to I'm very particular.
I
Yes, you are.
I think that I mean I would say that 99% of anything that I make here you would have no issues eating.
It's okay. It's fine. I'm glad that he thinks he can't eat the food because
I
that way I don't
would
gotta
need-
worry
Hey, matter
about
of fact,
him
that's
dipping
fine.
and
Just don't
dabbling.
actually. That's perfect. Just don't even touch
And you
it.
gotta worry about dipping and dabbling.
Y'all niggas are the ones who started. Well, I want to say you. This nigga's the one who started. I don't do that shit. I've never
you've
done
never-
that shit until
That
niggas.
is- until okay.
Until
So you do
niggas started grabbing my food. I was like,
ain't never seen nobody grab your food.
Open season. Open season. You know what I
You
mean? We
ain't-
grabbing everything out here. Okay, I see how it is.
Yeah, sometimes you want just a little taste, man.
I
Just
just
see
be
what.
checking. I just want to check it.
You just.
I just
Yeah, just want to check the
Just wanna make sure
seasoning.
it's
I want to
right.
see. I want
How
to
you
see what your
season
seasoning
it?
game
I
is.
mean,
on.
how else do you know that? How else do you think that we know that a lot of your food is consistent?
But why do you all need to test if my food is consistent if I enjoy it? It don't matter. It don't matter what you all think.
Just good ideas.
Get
Yeah,
ideas.
you
I mean,
get
yeah.
inspiration. Get some motivation.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to think. Everybody's getting inspiration, man.
Everybody gets inspired.
No, I definitely get inspired. Like this cat, he made that potato soup stuff.
Oh, it's potato soup.
I steal that.
In his little pot, right? The potato,
Oh, no,
the
no, no,
potato
not,
soup.
Not like his like actual food, but the idea of it. You know,
Oh.
of how to
Potato
make
soup
it.
Oh no, man, you gotta
Fire.
just
Like
get
it's
your-
really good, but
Yeah,
then I was
that-
like, "Oh, I can't eat this all the time."
It's
'cause-
heavy.
Get your little spoon.
No, it gets me
man,
on the
just-
toilet ASAP.
Really?
It
Get
puts
your
me on the toilet ASAP. I'm just like, nah, I can't. I can't do it consistently. It's good. Tastes
I wonder
really
what
good.
it is that puts you on the toilet so fast.
The potatoes in general, like if I like mash them up or whatever, they make me go.
That's not a bad thing though, because
They're not.
getting potatoes out quick is
Potatoes are also actually really good for any form of constipation, whether it's slow motility or fast motility. So whether you have constipation as in it's moving slow or diarrhea, which is a form of constipation also.
Oh, so
But
that
potatoes are actually good for that.
really.
They're high in fiber.
Yeah, they're good for that.
Oh,
they
You have to have that skin on it.
They no, I mean you can the skin has fiber in it. You can eat potatoes, but the recommendation is not to actually when you overcook potatoes, right? The skin in particular, there is a there's a toxin that becomes released.
Okay.
But that's just like any food when you overcook it, right? Like that's why you have to be
Supposed
careful with
steamed potatoes.
Correct. Or if you can bake them in the oven, but cover them. That's why I use the parchment paper, right? So when you cover it, it cooks inside the parchment paper, and it almost is like you're steaming it. You know what I'm saying? So they cook a little faster. And then obviously you're not using the aluminum foil. So that's why I cook that way.
Slow cooking is probably better too.
Also 100%.
I never thought about the health benefits of slow cooking, but that just made me.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they're good for that. So if someone has diarrhea, eat some potato.
Oh, that's good to know. I guess that's why I'll be on that toilet.
It could be, you know, like it's
and I
just
have a
cleaning
high
you up.
fiber diet in general.
That could be it also.
You know, but it is what it is.
Okay.
But do you all like around the holidays? Have you all ever invited like maybe a family, not a family or a friend or someone, and it creates an awkward situation as far as like the conversations that happen, or are there any typical conversations that happen?
Nah, they wouldn't get invited.
They wouldn't get invited. But
I'm not gonna invite somebody.
Or have you ever been over a relative or a girlfriend's or significant other's house, and it's just like an awkward atmosphere? And the reason why I asked it because I've had plenty of those with some of the girlfriends that I've had in the past, and I remember one specifically. I can't remember if it was on the Christmas season or if it was Thanksgiving, but I went over my my girlfriend at the time's crib and met with her family. Mm-hmm. And
it's the first time meeting
the family. Yeah.
Okay.
And then first interaction, just like, I'm from the Cincinnati. Yeah,
was she?
Yeah, she was white. She was Caucasian.
How'd you know my question?
I know where you're going. She's what were we gonna ask?
She was a Caucasoid.
I don't matter.
Yeah, you knew. Yeah. But she was of Caucasian descent, and so I went over there. You know what I mean? Gave them hugs and all that stuff, and then they had those conversations. Like it would be her mom, her mom's husband, and then like her other cousins or whatever, and they would be going around like, yes, I just graduated from this school and I got my bachelor's degree. I'm actually going back for my master's and all this stuff. And then like, yeah, I'm going to be a lawyer now. And they came around me. So Jamel, what do you do? I was like, oh shit, I work at Arby's. Just like that, dead ass. I was like, shit, I work at Arby's. And then Lila, she was like, but he just started there. He's working there for now. And I was just like, nigga, I just got hired about a month ago.
you gotta know where you can take people.
Yeah.
She didn't prepare you for
nothing.
Like,
hey, babe. You're coming for Thanksgiving.
This was actually fresh off of coming from New York. So like,
gee,
you could have sauced that up. You could have easily sauced it up. You just don't care.
No, it's not that I
I'm
don't
from,
care.
I'm from New York.
Nah.
I know, but
I've been traveling for the past couple of years. I just got back settled down here.
I mean, I told him that afterwards. I was just like,
probably shouldn't have led with Arby's.
I kept it 100. I don't know how to not keep it 100.
I mean, it's not keeping 100.
In my mind, I was just like, nigga, ain't no way hell I can compete with this. But I was like, nigga, I can't lie. I'm just like, shit, nigga, I work at Arby's right now. What you want me to say? You know what I mean? It's my trap house.
I was talking to a girl one time. It's in line, but it's not the holidays. But I was talking to a girl, and she was like, she asked me, "Oh, what are you doing now?" Da da da. Like it was technically my ex-girlfriend, and then we like reconnected like 3 years ago. Just not sexually, but just started talking. And her parents were like, "Oh, how's Steven?" Da da da. She told him she started talking to me, and she was just like, "Oh, what's he doing?" And she was just like, "He's an entrepreneur." And she just was like, I didn't know what to tell them, like it was just so awkward because I don't know what you do, and I was just like, well, that's kind of what I am though. Like, so then I told her, I was like, no, well, technically I'm a health and wellness coach. I own a detailing business. I do some photography. You know what I mean? Like I listed those things out, and she went back to them. So I can see the reason I said that story is because I can see how it can be awkward, right?
It's definitely awkward, especially if it's just all these white motherfuckers.
Yeah,
and
but,
you're just like,
but that's when you have to be able to sauce up or it's not keeping it 100, right? Everything that I listed was correct, but it sounds better if I said, well, yeah, I'm a health and wellness coach. I help people lose weight. I help people, reverse illnesses. I also own a small mobile detailing business. And I just started a photography business.
I could have told them, yo, I got an album coming out. Oh, shit. I was working on my mixtape.
I guess at that time, you know what I mean?
I'm working on my mixtape. I got my album coming out. You know what I mean? Well, and I'm at Arby's chopping these roast beef sandwiches.
You could say, well, I just moved back from New York, right? I'm originally from Cincinnati, but I'm a musician. I'm currently working on an album in the studio. chasing
To
my.
them, that still sounds like poverty.
I mean, I'm just
It
saying,
poverty.
like,
smells of poverty.
I mean,
of course, there's ways you can dress.
but
it
that's
up,
just. But I mean, let's be honest. When you walked in there,
I was dressed nice though.
I'm not talking about how you dress.
I had a
right?
hood.
I know. Yes, you just came from New York. You definitely still wear hood.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
didn't have I wasn't like drooping.
Okay. Well, I'm not even
Bandanas
talking
or
about how you
anything.
dress. Just your energy. You walk in, and I remember her. She was like white girl,
Lily white.
right? So you just lean into who you are, right? Like, listen, I'm not y'all. I'm different. And she likes me because I have swag, but I'm also, intelligent. Like you can
And
navigate.
all those degrees don't mean anything.
Literally don't.
It
literally
don't mean
means,
anything.
Literally
to
means
us,
they paid
but
a lot
to
of money.
A lot of people in the world, it means everything.
I mean,
It means absolutely
They're
everything.
becoming less and less.
people think Goku
Worthwhile.
is a real person that was, shoots Kamehameha blasters. It's real to them, but it don't mean anything. Like,
It doesn't hold any value within our society, but a lot of people in society hold those degrees. If we were to make a reel right now and say getting a degree, it doesn't matter, it's not important. The ratio of cats attacking and going against us will be majority cats going out and saying these cats don't know what they're talking about.
I can agree with that. But there's a
flip
lot of
that.
people. But I mean, like, how many times? I mean, you could throw a rock and hit somebody with 2 degrees, a double bachelor, a double master, and they don't work in their field, right? So it's becoming. I saw a reel just recently where this girl was literally crying, and she just was like, "I just got out of college, and I can't get a job, and I don't understand. Like, I spent 4 years, and now they're saying that I need experience and a degree," and she was just like, "I thought the degree was the experience." Like, she was dead ass.
yeah,
Like,
I saw that too. She's
like,
wilding.
no, like it's so frustrating how the world is changing, and it sucks because for a lot of people, because they are saying, well, you need a degree, but it's just like, yeah, but you're trying to pay people $35,000-$40,000, and they just spent 4 years in college, and it's super competitive for a regular job. Like, I'm not talking about when we were 10 years ago. Let's just say just 10 years ago. 15 years, you had a degree, okay, there's a hierarchy.
Yeah.
When I was working at Chase, if someone had a degree, right, we prioritized them. When they would put in applications, I worked in HR at that bank. But when there was a priority. And when they had a degree, they got prioritized. And then other people would not. Like, they literally just, like, unless they had a lot of experience, which you would have had to start as a teller and then work your way up through the ranks to get to bank manager or whatever, which is going to take a lot of time. You basically had to have a degree to get these higher paying jobs. But even those jobs, I was making more money than some of the people that we were bringing in, right? That would, you had some people, they would say you need a degree as a second level bank teller, right? And it's just like, bro, they start off at 37,000. I was making like 42 at the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't need a degree for my job. I'm making more than them. Yeah. Do they have more upwards earning potential in that job? Yes. But the fact that you even start them at that level is egregious. Like, and I mean, it's just backwards, and the market has now become oversaturated. Right, because there's not enough jobs, and everybody has a degree, and it's to the point now where your degree doesn't hold any weight like it used to. It's like, yeah, you have a bachelor's, great job. How much debt?
It never
held weight.
Well,
You're talking about very specific instances.
Well, I'm
When you
talking
look
about
at
for the majority.
When you look at the whole the landscape, no, because when you look at the landscape holistically. It doesn't. A degree never did what it was supposed to do. Let's say that.
It never did what it was supposed to
Let's
do.
say
But
that.
I wanted to be a teacher. I needed a degree.
There's definitely, but that's the way the system's built. It's designed for you to have to use a degree because they want you to go to college. They want you to get that
They want you to
compulsory
get the debt.
education. They want you in debt. They want that control mechanism over you. But it never did what we were taught it was supposed to do, and it never will.
You got a degree, your life changes. You can retire. You can live a great life.
No.
That was the dream that I was fed. If you get your degree, you're set. Period. That's why people were just like, I'm the first one in my family to get a degree. Like it was a big deal.
I got to college. I said, this is a scam. I got out of there as quick as I could.
You realized it was a scam?
Oh, yeah.
Chris pulled me out.
Long time ago.
What was the thought or the instance that made you realize that, hey, this is a scam? I need to get out of this.
Multiple things, right? Number one, before I even got to college, the fact that all they ever did was push college. That was weird to me. Like counselors and stuff, I went to college prep schools. Like it was never even a talk of a vocational school because I was more
trade
interested in
school.
that.
Nothing.
I was more interested in being an electrician or a technician or something like that. So that was suspicious. And then when I started to understand the financing, I'm like, bro, this is very expensive. You know, leading up to that point, I never really looked at it. I didn't really care. I really didn't want to go. But when I was going through that process, FAFSA and all that stuff, I'm like, this is not affordable. Like, it's not affordable. And then on top of the fact that it's not affordable, then you're taking all these credit hours. You don't even have time for a job. Like, I'm thinking about, like, bro, this doesn't make sense. So that was another big red flag for me. And then ultimately looking at my parents and other people who have got degrees and looking at their life, I'm like, I'm not really interested in your outcomes. So if this what it means to have a degree, this doesn't make sense to me, you know? Now, as I got older and I started getting deeper into research, like researching history and stuff, that, you know, that deepened it. But on the surface level, when I very first was introduced to the idea of college and really starting to go through that process, I was like, this is not going to be beneficial. And I also knew that there was no pipeline from your degree course to school. That is something that was told to me. So like this girl is crying. It's like, who raised you? Because they failed you.
Her mom.
Like the fact that you're literally like, I had no idea.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. I thought she was trolling. She was joking.
She was dead serious.
So, you know, that was the other thing. So I'm thinking, shoot, I could go and work. And in the 4 years that you're here getting this degree, I can make $100,000 or more, not have the $40,000 or $60,000 of debt. I could be up almost $200K on you in 4 years. And that just made more sense to me logically.
No, I think that's very smart, and that's using your, I guess, observable reality as a catalyst to create that spark. Because when I was growing up and we used to go on, and like when I was in high school, we would go on like black college tours or whatever. We'd go to Morehouse. We would go to, Atlanta, Tennessee, and we would take like a Greyhound. Well, I'm not sure if it was Greyhound, but it was like a bus. You know, all these teenagers and stuff. But I still never understood what was the point of going to college. Like, what's the reasoning behind this? And I didn't understand the concept of it. And, like, I literally just was taught that, hey, after you go to high school, you go to college, and that's what you're supposed to do. I didn't understand. I was never taught like, hey, you go here so you can learn about something, then you apply for a job. I didn't understand that. And so like when I graduated high school, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna probably take a break off, take a year off of and then I'll decide if I'm gonna go to college or not. And then I ended up going to New York from there. But
you went to the school of hard knocks with me.
Hey, real rap.
Changed your life.
Yeah, which was a great experience, man.
Now, just to bring contrast to the discussion. No, that's not. I think you'll agree. I think that if there is something specific that you are actively looking to learn, and there is a level of education that you desire or you feel that you need because it will better or further what you're already doing, right? So like, not adult learning, but just, I forget the term for it, but basically just act like, I want to learn more about, for example, I am considering going and getting my associates in psychology. I don't want a bachelor's. I don't need a bachelor's, right? Just simply because having a little bit more education, which I use that term very loosely, could be a benefit. And for some people, it looks good on your resume, right? For some of the things that I want to do for my future. So,
But you wouldn't need that if you're your own business, if you're your own entity. That's
It's
only
not-
like necessary if you're applying for a job.
well,
I mean,
yes and no.
the degree, not the education.
Well, so for okay, yes, right. So you're correct. But for some people, depending on what I am looking to do, some people like to see the letters behind your name.
So you're basically doing it to create a look. I mean, you're doing it to obviously learn,
Right.
But
Yeah.
you're doing it for the look for the people that it will
Right.
appeal
So
to.
right. I mean, we're talking about. Well, I'm specifically talking about psychology because it really kind of is in alignment with what I do.
Right.
Right. But also, and so understanding the psychology of people, they tend to, and you'll know this. You will see that they tend to trust people that are educated.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that they're smart, right? But they like. And it, depending on what you're doing. So if I was going to say, reach out to a college and say, hey, I want to come do a speech, or I want to, I'm doing a speaking tour. Like, I want you guys to hire me to come talk to people. Right. They're going to ask about my experience and my education.
Your credentials.
Right. My credentials. So it will look good whether I use any of that information or not. The fact that you can say, this person has certifications in X, Y, and Z. This person is, went to school here, and here, whatever, right? It looks good for them. And they see that as qualifications. May not change anything about me, but others will see it that way.
It's similar to how I pay taxes because I got to get a loan from the bank.
Right.
It's just playing the game.
It's playing the game.
I understand all that. You obviously are talking about a very niche.
I'm being very...
It's
Yeah.
this isn't the broad audience of people going to college would never really use it this way.
Right.
Unless you're one of the elite and you were taught this, because depending on where you went to school and your family, you have to have certain boxes checked.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still not the mass majority of people going to college. Most people are going to college to
You're absolutely
get a
correct.
degree in some field and then work in that field or to make more money in that field.
Yeah.
So I think YouTube University is an amazing tool. Granted, it wasn't always around, but I mean, you can learn more on YouTube now.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
I honestly think that you can learn more on your own with technology. There's all, I mean, even for free, but there's a lot of there's other education out there that you can get that is absolutely free. And it's going to be better than what you would learn in college, right? But unfortunately, colleges they check that box.
Not for long.
And you're maybe correct, but for now, this is the world that we live in. So
I think college is losing steam.
I agree.
I agree too, because you have people going to school and they're getting a degree in business administration. It's bro, what is that?
This newer generation, they can see like this is some bullshit.
Yeah.
This is a scam. This doesn't make any sense. Because you have, like, if you have consistent, especially this younger generation, if they're consistently on social media, they'll have a lot of people breaking down the history of college and how they're, taking all your money and getting all this stuff, and how most people who get these college degrees don't even go to the field that they're, spending all this money on. So this newer generation, they could definitely see it, which is dope because my generation of people, go to college, get a degree.
It was the only route.
Yeah.
I'll say this, right? If you're going to go to college, right, because been there, but if you're going to go to college, go with the intention of it's you want the experience.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not because you're going specifically because you truly believe that this is going to be the end all be all. Now, if you legitimately want to be a lawyer or a doctor or something like that, absolutely go to college, right? Like, you're not going to be able to be a doctor in the medical field, have a medical degree, unless you go to college.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about you people, right? Go do that. But the people that are the vast majority, probably 80%, probably even more than that, it's probably closer to 90, right? The people that are just there because that's the next step, and they're all taking these loans out, and they're there for 4 years, and they get out, and they literally can do nothing with their degree, right? If you're going to go for the experience, right? Go to join a fraternity or sorority and meet people and grow.
That network is crazy.
Right? And grow. Have fun, whatever. Like, but if
Go
you're
to meet your husband.
there you go. Like, but if you're gonna do it, understand I'm going for the experience. Yes, I'll go ahead and I'll go to my classes, yada yada yada. Right? Don't wait 2 years to pick your major. Right? Go for as short as possible. Right? I would say 2 years. Right? And then go for the experience, not because you think that this is going to change your life. Because when you get out of college, for most people, you're going to be behind than ahead. Because people in the work field will tell you experience is king. You got 30 years or 20 years experience in marketing or Microsoft or, like programming, whatever. You got 20 years experience in something. You're going to get a job over someone who probably just got out of college and have no experience. Yeah. Even if you're not educated, they know that they can plug and play you into that job. And a business is literally going to say, yeah, we have to spend less money on training. This person has a track record. We already see you're not even, it's not even a competition. So you don't need to go to college to have a good job and do these things you want to do. Like Chris stated earlier, like, honestly, if I could genuinely go back and redo things again and stay in a similar pathing, I probably would have either went military or that would have been like the 20%. 80% of me probably says I would have gone into trade. I would have went into welding because that's what I enjoyed when I started learning it. I was like, oh, I like this. I really wish I got into welding. So, yeah. And then now I'd have probably multiple businesses and all kinds of stuff. Like,
hey, choose your path correctly.
Choose it correctly.
And be wise.
I'm pushing my kids to
with the choices
trade school.
All right, let's touch on some trending topics, which is nigga, shut up. I was trying to get there. Let's P. Diddy and Cassie. Recently, Cassie came out with a lawsuit against P. Diddy, trying to get him for, I'm gonna say like $30 million or so. And the reason why is because, like, during she came out and said during their relationship that he was like an abusive person towards her sexually. She was forced to do these things that's called freak offs or so. And these freak offs would involve, it's like having multiple men, like she had sex with multiple men. He would he would sit there, watch her. Yeah. But you have to think, this is the Hollywood type stuff. But the issue is that she was saying, she was 19 at the time when they first started, dating, and now she's like 37. And so she put out this lawsuit or so, and then all this stuff, with the sex and all this, it got taken care of. The lawsuit, it got settled behind closed doors the exact same day these allegations had came out against Diddy.
The lawsuit was settled the same day that the allegations came out?
Yeah, exact same day. Not even 24 hours passed before it was swept under the rug and it got settled. And it's only big because there's only certain outlets that, that got to it. But a lot of people, like a lot of mainstream outlets, they aren't talking about it. A lot of people aren't discussing it. And they're saying, because obviously, he's a billionaire, he has certain powers and, just like certain strings that you can pull to get this thing overlooked or.
Did he billionaire?
Yeah. He's a billionaire now. Okay. But the consensus in this is that did he do it or did he not? People are thinking about, okay, is it true that he actually did all this sexual stuff, all this sexual assaulting when it comes to Cassie? Or is he, being made a fool of? Because if you settle and not go to court, it comes off as an admission of guilt, but he hasn't been convicted by a jury or a judge to say, hey, you've been convicted of this. So I
thought settling, part of the settlement is always, it's not a admission of guilt.
It was handled outside of court.
Yeah, so it's like the same thing that. So I'm sorry, were you saying that it was an admission or it wasn't?
It wasn't.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
It's not an admission.
He's talking about the court of public opinion.
Yeah, I mean, people will think,
assume.
But But let's say like you're an advertiser and you're working with Diddy with all his business and stuff. That wouldn't be like, it would look more negative on you if you were convicted of something. Like R. Kelly, he got convicted. Bill Cosby, he got convicted. And they're actually doing time. So, but before he even got to the proceedings, he was, he's scot free. And so,
He said scot.
I guess scotch free. Is that what it is?
No, I don't know.
No, but some of the allegations that were being spoken upon when it comes to Diddy is crazy, and a lot of situations he had gotten into a fight with, I want to say Drake. He got in a fight with J. Cole. He got a fight with other celebrities and other people because they were talking about how he was very defensive and protective over Cassie. So anyone that would get close to her, he would be like mad aggressive and mad angry. Kid Cudi actually got his car blown up.
Dang.
And
no, Diddy's a gangster.
His car got blown up. And like the funny thing is, it's like all these allegations that people are talking about and all these different stories, they come off as true. Mm-hmm. And they tell like, hey, like, and the funny thing is, it was actually this recent podcast that came out prior to this, exploding. It was with Waka Flocka, Jay Farrell, Desi Banks, and then one of those DJ Who Kid. And Desi Banks, he was asking, he was just like, yo, so I'm, he's new to the industry. Like, is there anything I should look out for or any advice or anything? And then Jay Farrell, he started laughing, thinking, he was just like, no, Who Kid, he was just like house parties. And then Jay Farrell, he was just like, he said, I'm not gonna say too much, but all I want to say is you want to stay away from the take that mansion. To take that mansion. Stay away from that. And Waka Flocka and everyone started laughing, and they said, hey, they laughing because they know what he's talking about is real, And so apparently at these parties, which were where these freak offs would happen, that's where a lot of sexual activities and stuff like that will happen. And so it's getting a little crazy out here in Hollywood. And also, since this allegation had came out about Cassie and Diddy, a lot more other celebrities have been coming out of being like accused of these sexual, allegations. Jamie Foxx was one that recently came out as far as, him, sexually abusing a woman. And different athletes and different commentators throughout Hollywood, they started coming out because of these allegations, and it's mainly because of this act. It's called adult. It's a hold on, let me see.
I saw something. Somebody made a post, and it was all of these. Okay, it says what's going on this week. And former Bad Boy president Harvey sued for alleged sexual assault negligence. Interscope Records co-founder Jimmy Iovine facing sexual abuse lawsuit. Jamie Foxx has been sued for sexual assault that allegedly happened 8 years ago. Former ESPN host and NFL Marcellus Wiley accused of sexual assault. Mayor Eric Adams has been accused of sexually assaulting a former colleague in 1993. And Diddy is being accused of sexually assaulting a woman he drugged on a date in 1991.
Yeah.
In one of the last lawsuits brought under New York's Adult Survivors Act.
ADA, yeah. ASA.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 black men. And all of these are old.
Yeah.
Like, they're talking about the 90s.
And the reason why they're old is because that act, it lasts for a year. And I want to say... Yes, this past Friday was the last day that anyone who had any allegations.
So they
forward because it was past the statute
of limitations.
They like if they have anything, this is their time to say it because after this day it won't count anymore.
Okay, hold on a second, because this could actually be a good thing. The way I'm hearing it, are you saying that? Okay, so the statute of limitation is, I don't know what it is. It's different for every state or whatever. On sexual assault or whatever is XYZ. It's 10 years, whatever, right? We understand that like murders, there is no statute of limitation, right? So you're saying that because these are going back to the 90s, but they're not all the same year. So did this act basically say, listen, y'all, at this point forward, you have a year to file your whatever. After this point, we're not going to keep doing this. Is that what they're basically saying? Like,
Yeah. But the thing is, a lot of people, they took advantage of this. So a lot of people who were...
so we could be coming to the end of this nonsense.
Well,
Talking
so-
about the end of the Me Too movement.
Right.
in a sense. Yeah.
It sounds like, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like you're basically saying that they basically said, hey, listen, we're not going to keep just doing this. So we're going to put a limit on this. Well, and you have until this point to file all of these, whatever. And then from that point forward, it's going to be from this date moving forward. You have to report it.
There's a statute of limitation or something.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there should be like, okay. I mean, there's a lot to unpack because there's a lot of information involved in this.
Deadline prompts rush of sexual assault charges. I gotta learn more about this.
So the main thing is Cassie's situation. Well, everyone's situation, if they've been effective in a negative way, is obviously something that should be highlighted. But in Cassie's particular situation, she was going through this since she was 19. Now, based on the information that I've learned about it, I believe her story to be completely true. Of course, some people could lie and all that stuff, but just based on, like, they detail everything of years, as far as like, the people that's involved, the parties that's involved, when it took place, like, the car blowing up, this stuff that actually happened, fights that happened with celebrities, with different celebrities. These are things that actually happen. And do you think that it's okay if someone commits this crime, but they're able to get away with it because they have the push and pull and money to do so? Do we think this is a fair thing that should happen? Or what are your overall, I guess, thoughts or beliefs when it comes to someone experiencing sexual assault and then it getting resolved with, just money, and the person that's being accused is not facing any jail time, any kind of punishment by the law, or any things of that nature? So any thoughts about that in general?
I mean, the the justice system is trifling. So nothing that the justice system does, none of the ways that it handles things, I'm probably going to agree with. It misses the mark on every level.
Yeah.
All the time. But then you have to just understand it, because it is what it is. I guess to some degree people have agreed to it. We haven't torn it down. So is it right? I mean, what would be right? Jail is jail, right? Like, my thing is, my approach, and this is like what I always say, would be towards solving the root problem. Jail's not going to fix it. Mm-hmm. So even to say jail would be right, no. I mean, what is that fixing? Nothing. You're just further lining the pockets of the people that created the corrupt justice system. Fixing the families and the issues in the home, which is the way that I would approach it. That's the right thing to do. If Diddy is assaulting women sexually, then obviously that needs to be made known so that other people don't fall victim, and he needs to go into some sort of wellness rehabilitation, just the same as R. Kelly, because 9 times out of 10, he's been abused. Probably 10 times out of 10.
Right.
When you do stuff like this to other people, it's because something was done to you. So you're punishing the victim. And you think, well, he's a grown man. Yeah, true. But that psychological damage keeps him at a certain age, right? And nobody ever thinks about that, because that would solve the root problem. How did Diddy get abused? How did that impact all of the people that he abused then later on? It's a chain reaction, and we need to go to the source. If we go to the source of the chain reaction, okay, we can't change what happened to Cassie or anybody else that's already been abused, but we can start to affect the future. Because at some point we got to stop this.
Yeah.
So I think personally that what needs to be done is he needs to have a psych evaluation that includes an in-depth analysis of his childhood and where these things very first stem for him. And I think we should do this across the board when people are, portraying they're doing these type of things. And then we need to figure out where this stuff is stemming from, because you're going to see a pattern. And then by determining what that pattern is, we can see, okay, how do we need to change family structure, how we deal, like, you know, the government has these different entities that rip families apart, encourage certain acts from women or from men, you know, the prison system. There's all these different things that are creating the environment for a Diddy. You just want to punish Diddy and put him in jail, but you're not fixing the problem. Yeah. So that's how I look at it. It's completely different. Is it right? Is it wrong? None of it's right. None of it's right. There is no solution today that would be right. But what we can do is take what's happened and learn from it, and then alter the direction of our future. That's how I would approach it.
Do you think that's a realistic?
It's
based on the society that we live in and we've seen. Do you think that can realistically happen?
No, I mean, not based on the society we have now. No, because people don't. That's not even on people's radar. But that's when it say, is it realistic? Yeah, there was a time when these types of things weren't happening at mass.
Yeah, I mean, I feel for that Cassie chick because I'm just like, bro, she's now 37. So she was dealing with this for 18 years or so. And granted, every couple, every relationship, they all have their, you know, different quirks and different things that they enjoy. So, I mean, if you look at it, I guess, what's that? Look at it from a different perspective, just to play devil's advocate. You could say that, hey, what was her participation in this? You know, is there anything that she done to encourage this? You know, this behavior.
Of course, Diddy didn't just go and snatch her out of her home and start putting her in a sex ring. It was her choice to be with him. It was her choice to be around him.
Yeah, but you also have to think of his power. Like it's sort of like a Harvey Weinstein type of situation in a sense where, like, hey, he's in this music industry and he's like the top dog in a sense. If she's at the beginning of her career and he's saying, hey, I can do this for you, this and that for you. Someone that's being 19, seeing the power that he has, you don't think that she would be gullible or she wouldn't be more receptive to a lot of the behavior?
She is. But this goes back to what Chris said. The family. Where's the father? Right? The father would raise her to respect herself, to discipline her, to tell her, these are the type of men that you need to stay away from. These are the type of men that you want to be close to, right? The father would be the one that would be there when she signs her contract, or, you know what I mean? Like, there's a layer of, this is why men are important in the household, right? There's the protection. So, I mean, in 2023, you got to be careful when you're placing accountability on people. Everyone has a level of accountability in their life to whatever happens to you, right? You get in a car accident. Yes, it could be they were a drunk driver. They ran the lane. They hit you. Yeah, boom, 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 boom. We could place all the blame on them. But what did you do? You still got in your car. You still decided to drive there. You still decided to go to this location, right? Were you paying attention? Yeah, the light was green, but did you look both ways and still look and see, hey, maybe somebody's coming too fast? Are they going to slow down? Right? Like, you can always find something to be accountable for, right? And that's part of the biggest issues with our society is that people do not like taking accountability for the things that they did. It's so much easier just to blame other people, right? But at that age, I would ask, where's her father?
You don't think that it's possible that she's just been manipulated, like, throughout this entire situation? Because people are saying,
you mean when she was young or now?
Well, when she was younger. Because
well, I mean,
people
yeah,
are saying
she's 19.
There's this thing is called love bombing. I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with that term.
With it.
But they say that initially she was love bombed, and that's why that she was manipulated to fall into these things. And love bombing, to clarify for those who don't know, is just basically doing everything initially to get the woman to fall in love with you, and then once you have that woman to fall in love with you, that's when you
switch up.
You can switch up and then manipulate and get them to do whatever you want. It's kind of like how they try to get like Andrew Tate with the Loverboy type thing. Mm-hmm. It's like in the exact same realm when it comes to that. So do you think that's something that was done to her, or that's something that's out of the realm of possibility?
Once again, I goes back to the father. And to me, like, because when you're talking about love bombing, that really works on people that have not experienced love, right? Like, I go out of my way I spoil my daughter, and it's a problem. It's getting worse because
Okay, Steve Harvey.
No. First, don't even no. Well, I love her, but I also have now. What I recently did is I realized I'm doing too much, so I gave her. The kids got debit cards, and she gets a certain amount of money each month now, and she asked me for things, and I teach lessons. So she asked me she wanted to redo her bedroom, right? Just follow me. She wanted to redo her bedroom. And I told her, well, how much money do you have, right? And she was like, I don't know, Dad. So I sent her a screenshot. She had like 32 cents. So you don't have no money. So you have to wait until you get your allowance. And she's like, well, what can I do? What can I do? So I said, okay, well, let's work this out. So I taught her a lesson on payday loans or pay advance. So I basically gave her an advance on her money. And then I told her, well, then, you're not going to get any money for November. And then when you get money in December, you're only going to get half of what you should have gotten, right? Because I'm taking a piece of it because I'm advancing it to you, right? Now, obviously, it's probably a little bit more advanced for her. She's 10, but I'm at least beginning to teach those lessons where it's like, it's better to be patient, right? Now, that's a lesson in finances, but I give her love. I tell her I love her. I show her how a man should be acting, right, in her life, how a man would show love to her. And it would be very difficult to love bomb somebody who is already very much so loved. I think that love bombing in general works for a lot of people that have never experienced a true love before. Now, typically, love bombing is going to be something that a man does to a woman, right? And it can be done in the opposite way. So a woman can love bomb a man, but usually it's the opposite direction. And it usually works in the opposite direction because a lot of the men in the house are no longer present. So it leads me back to, once again, I think that I don't know their family dynamic, but you can throw a rock and hit a family or a woman who didn't have a father in that way, or their father was there, but he wasn't really there, right? Or he was there and he paid the bills, but he still didn't show her love. And then it caused her to go out and look for love and attention from other men. And now you have this talent and she is able to get the attention of an international superstar, right? Producer, Diddy. And now at this point, he's like, well, I like you. And maybe he did love bomb her. Maybe not intentionally, because I don't think in that time it was even a thing. But that's just what he did, right? Maybe he just used his power to get women, which is like, if you got it, why not, right? I don't blame him for
he's
that.
a 10 on the woman's scale of attractiveness. Right?
Well, and he's not even unattractive either. So it's not even like.
But I'm just saying, on their scale.
Yeah,
he is a 10. He's
right.
a 10. He uses the same power women that are 10s use on men.
Correct.
There's no difference here.
There's no difference.
Also, here's the thing that really annoys me about these types of discussions. There's no accountability on the woman. She was 19. She was a baby. No, she wasn't. She was a grown woman. By our standards here in America and by the standards pretty much
internationally
in the world,
yeah,
she is a grown woman who has complete control of her faculties. I mean, she can essentially do anything. She's completely autonomous. We keep talking about these women at 18 or 19 like they're babies, and they're not. And if they are, what were you doing for 18 years? Like, why didn't you prepare her? Like, this, where is the accountability? Because if it's a man, there's none of this.
Right.
Oh, he's a baby. You go and kill someone as a 16, 17-year-old man, you're going to jail. You're doing hard time. Mm-hmm. They're not going to say, oh, he's a child. He's a baby. He didn't know any better. So where's the accountability?
I mean, do you not take into account just the pressure that comes with, like, if you're not used to this type of lifestyle and someone introduces the sexual stuff and there's drugs involved, you don't think about the pressure that the woman may be under to do these acts, especially if she wants to pursue a career? You don't think
Where's the
there's-
accountability?
But I'm just saying, like, you don't think there's pressure involved in that to make that woman want to do that?
Neither of these things are wrong. Yes, there's pressure, and yes,
But
there's
do
no
you-
accountability.
But
You're both right.
Do you prioritize because she's 19? She didn't have it's her prior experience. That's the reason why she's going through this versus being at the present moment, being surprised by an act and doing things that's outside of what you would normally do because you have this pressure on you. That has nothing to do with how you were brought up. If you're in a pressurized situation, if someone was to come in here right now and pull out a gun, you'd be like, I wasn't expecting this. I'm not expecting what is happening right now. And so your mind is just puzzled doing what's the best.
I've actually already thought about how to counter if somebody came in here with a gun.
Okay, but we're talking about that's a little bit of a different situation.
Well, regardless, I'm just saying you're in a pressurized situation and you're doing things that's outside of your normal character. You can't place all the blame on this woman for not being accountable for all this stuff if she's never been in these situations and she's pursuing a music career with someone that has control and can make or break people's careers.
No, and I don't think that Chris was saying that, right? But there is a level of accountability that needs to go on the other person.
There's accountability that needs to be held regardless. I'm not even arguing the accountability part because I think we all agree that women never take responsibility or accountability for a lot of shit that they do in life in general.
Correct.
But I'm just speaking on the fact that you're in a situation that's not normal to you and you're pursuing something that you're passionate about and you're with this man who can do this for you, but you have to have sex with 10 people have these sex parties.
How are you raised? Right, the way that you.
Why you keep going back to how you were raised?
What do you mean? Because that's what it goes. That's what it
matters.
It matters
in every situation.
Yes.
Are you telling
your integrity, your values, your morals? Like you get into a situation, it doesn't matter what the outside is. I'm not doing this. Like
how common is it or normal is it for you to be in situations where you're in life-changing situations? You meet someone like a P. Diddy or, a Jay-Z. These people who have life-changing, that have power, that have real power.
It's not common. But at the same time, at some point, your integrity has to say, this is not how I was raised. And I'm not going to let my integrity go to the wayside because I want to get a bag.
Is there not a level of trust that you would have with someone? You mean because a lot of times this is how women get into abusive relationships.
I'm gonna say this, Mel, though, because you got to think like you're. This is not. I'm sure this happened very quickly. I'm sure it's not like she met him, they dated for a year, and then slowly but surely he brought her into this. Because that don't even make sense.
I've never even heard of this woman. So her career must have not done nothing.
Yeah, I don't know who she is either.
Cassie? Y'all know who Cassie is.
I probably heard her music and stuff, but.
She's the one who started the girls getting to shave hair.
I don't know, man,
Half their y'all know who Cassie is.
Okay, we know who she is.
She's beautiful.
But the point is, this isn't a year of love bombing and all this stuff. Diddy ain't waiting around for that. I'm sure she was in the mansion within the first couple of weeks, if not the first week.
Yeah.
Why would he wait? So she made decisions, and she made decisions not to leave. She made decisions not to say no. She made decisions to make a deal with the devil and get her bag and be the trendsetter and shaven head and all that stuff so that she could have this power and this visibility. She made those decisions. You could say, well, Diddy has power and he wouldn't let her go. Well, how did she get away? And if she was goes back to what Steve said, if she was raised right, if she had the protection of her father, do you think that a girl who has only known the protection of her father gets put in a situation like that, doesn't instantly run back home to her daddy, and her daddy's going to put his life on the line to make sure that his daughter is safe? Like, there's going to be a bond between them where she's going to feel safe no matter what the threat is from Diddy. My dad's going to protect me.
And he wasn't threatening harm. He was threatening her career, or she didn't even have a career. She was trying to get one.
If he's an abuser, you don't think that there's a level of control that she is under or influence, or just she feels like she can't do anything because she got he was controlling her actions and everything that she did. She ended up he told her to get breast implants. She got breast implants. He didn't like them. They were too big. Get them removed. the exact same. I want to say within the same week or so, or next day, the doctor said this isn't, it's not healthy. You shouldn't do this. This isn't healthy. She just got it. Now you want to get them removed. You shouldn't do this. And it happened anyway. They got it done anyway. And she was crying and all this stuff, and and so you don't think that you're doing all these, you're altering your body, you're changing your look. They even have before and after pictures of showing her having breast implants, and then they're just gone. Her flat chest, big chest, and all that stuff is gone. So like, she's under a different level of abuse when it comes to dealing with this guy. There's stories of him hanging people over hanging Wale over the balcony because he was talking to her, punching Drake in the club. Like, you don't see the level of control or the abuser,
Right,
and why a woman would be fearful.
How
to
did it
act in
get
a
to that
situation.
point? It wasn't that point from day one.
It wasn't like that from day one.
So that there was a flag.
There's
a
something
red
that
flag
builds up.
A red flag was thrown, and she said, well, I want this bag. I want this career. I want this fame. And she ignored it, right? And then another red flag was thrown. She's like, I don't care. I still want this bag.
If they come off as they're having good intentions, you don't think it's going to spiral out into something that's negative.
I mean, you're Mel. Well, first, let me just say, like, obviously, you know more about this situation than we do, but this is why we are. I think that I'll speak for myself. This is why I'm still stuck in the beginning of this, which is about the father and your morals and your values and things of that nature. Because I know a lot of women who would not do those things, right? And right now, you're making very valid points, and I don't disagree with your points. I just want to be clear. He is a very influential person, and men with a lot of power are very influential. And yes, she can do things thinking that maybe he loves her and this is the best because he's like, oh, girl, I done this for so many people. I know what's best for you. Da da da. Like, yeah, I mean, obviously, right? But at the same, but that's where you have what's, again, integrity, right? It is doing the things that no one else sees. Like, if you feel like I don't want to do this, at some point, you have to say, I'm not doing this. Like, I always like look back and just say, like, where are your friends? Like, what friends did you have in your life? Like, no one said anything like, girl, you gotta get away from this. Or, no, this isn't good. No, your parents, nothing? Like, nobody? And then if they were there, that once again goes to Chris's point, is she's actively making decisions, right, to do these things. Now, granted, yes. Is there an outside influence, Diddy, which is influencing her and pressuring her? Absolutely. That stuff matters. But once again, at the same time, she's still making these decisions.
I mean, a father will kill a man for his daughter. So it's like, okay, Diddy, you don't want to let my daughter go? He would probably rather go ahead and smoke Diddy than to have to let his daughter go through abuse for 17 years. Like,
She was with him for 17 years?
Well, she was 19. She's 37 now, so 18 years.
Oh, they were in a relationship all the time?
I'm not sure if they were like, yeah. They were in a relationship.
Wasn't he with like J-Lo and all this stuff as well?
I mean, he'd be with multiple people. He'd be with dudes.
Oh,
too,
so she's just been there.
I think she was like a side chick, but this is before J-Lo. J-Lo, I think was before Cassie was in the scene.
Oh, yeah, I don't know all that.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you either, Mel. I want to say that. Like, I'm not saying, obviously, your point is valid.
Right.
It's just the simple fact that we can't just throw out everything else and say, oh, she was young. She was manipulated by a powerful man. She didn't have any say. He was threatening her. Like, bruh, that's what I'm supposed to believe? I'm supposed to believe that she just had no choice. It was all Diddy.
I mean, everything is a choice. I mean,
Like,
we can even go back to slavery. Remember, Ye said slavery was a choice. We can go back to that. That was a choice if they just stuck there. But, we obviously know that the slavery that they say is all that. You know what I mean? But
Whole different conversation.
Yeah, whole different story. But I think they're like I think there's just a different level of emotional trauma that a young woman would go through, especially she doesn't know what love is, and this is her first time experiencing this stuff. Hey, she likes this guy. Maybe she is just being misguided.
why did she like him?
Right.
Love bomb.
No,
I mean,
she liked him because he is the female version of a 10. That's why. Because if I would have met Cassie, just being a normal dude, she wouldn't even have blinked at me.
True.
Yeah, true. So
Well, you don't know that.
oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Oh yeah, because Cassie, she's bad. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I
What
do.
you trying to say? Chris can't get bad chicks?
No. It's just
It's
that,
the probability.
No, Chris can get bad chicks. It's just the level that the bad chicks, their mindset with their at.
Okay.
Nigga, you know. You know what I mean? But do you think that the freakiness, all these parties, and do you think those are legit? You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
considering it's
Absolutely.
like
Yeah,
Hollywood.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely. I hear all those stories I think are true. All of them. And the reason I say that is because one day when I write
You been to a freak party?
my book, I'm going to put in some stories. But you go to York, Pennsylvania, man, I have legendary parties. I have thrown legendary parties, and I've experienced a lot of stuff, and I'm not a Diddy. I've seen things where I'm like, bruh, what the, like, I mean, I can't.
You can. It's a podcast, man. Come on, man.
There was a woman. I call her girl. She was, we were all younger then, and this was probably, over 10 years ago, right? And there was this girl that came over one time, and I was having a party, had a keg, alcohol, boys were there, tons of girls, and it's at my house, and this girl comes over one time, and she had recently had a baby, and she was like breastfeeding or whatever. And one of my boys was just like, "Oh, you got some big titties. Like, so what you got? You breastfeed? So what you got? You got the milk? You know what I'm saying?" And she was like, "Yeah." Da, 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 da. And this girl, literally, on the couch, took out her titties and started squirting milk on him. In my living room, and she's squirting milk on his face, like in his mouth. And
was it good? Did you say?
I don't
I feel like that
remember.
wasn't a question being asked at that time.
It just, I was in shock.
Like, what the hell is, like, what is
I mean, I couldn't imagine what I was seeing.
Okay.
Like, I mean, and there's so much stuff that I have seen at parties that I've thrown, and I'm not a Diddy. I'm not this powerful, rich, wealthy. You know what I'm saying? So I can imagine the things that has happened and the things that have gone on when you add in money, and then you add in these people that are on drugs, and there's a lots of money there, and it's not just Diddy. There's other powerful men there, and women trying to get their attention, willing to do anything to get them and their resources. I can only imagine the crazy things because I've seen crazy things. I've experienced crazy things.
You ever been you
Come on, man. I'm not probably not.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead. I mean, hey, allegedly.
You know what I'm saying? No. There's been some crazy things that I've experienced, right? So absolutely all this stuff is true, because if I can experience it and I can see it 10 years ago, and this is before I was Stephen Michael, I was just Steven. You feel me? Like, there wasn't,
Tucker Max,
you know what I mean? That was after Tucker Max days, but yeah, those were my days, man. Like, so it wasn't even like I was this guy.
Yeah.
So
Just a normal dude.
just a normal dude, and I saw so much.
I feel like the younger you are, the freakier you are, because you don't have a lot of experience, so you're more willing to try newer things. You know what I mean? Because I remember when I was in Webster Hall, back in New York,
Yeah.
I got some things done to me that I was just like, whoa,
In the club.
In the club.
Man, that club was
On
huge
the dance
too.
floor.
Dang.
I was looking around like,
Was that when me and Jeremy blocked you?
I'm not sure if it was the same day, but it was
I
definitely.
mean, we blocked you multiple times.
Yes, you definitely blocked me multiple times, but it wasn't. I don't think it was the same day. I think it was like maybe a couple weeks.
That's
after.
crazy. I don't think that I even knew that.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, no. I'm saying, like, you said something to us like recently, but I'm in that I don't remember it. You know what I'm saying?
Those good times, man.
Oh, it was real good times.
Real good times. No freak offs though. You know
Real.
what I mean?
Nah. Well,
You ever had any freak offs, Chris? Like any what's those hidden walls?
John's been to my party before. I don't think it was crazy like that.
I can't imagine John.
No, he wasn't. It wasn't they weren't as crazy yet when he came to visit, but he was in the military still.
But
And
anything to the level
Buddy
where he's
love.
on
No,
man,
Chris
you
over
want to
now.
throw a party?
no.
I don't have no people to throw it.
We too old now, man.
What you talking about? We too old.
And
Diddy
man,
is 50. So
What you talking about? We just now coming in our prime.
we too mature, man.
I would never do that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what?
You know what I mean? Never say
Mel,
never.
Mel said, "Shoot, I've been in the desert. I'm willing to do."
I mean, I
anything."
could. What you need? You need a party thrown?
Nah.
I don't know anybody out here.
Nah, I don't need no party, man. It's all good. Yeah.
It would be lame. It would not be a good party.
No.
It wouldn't. I
No.
couldn't. Yeah.
I can't even imagine y'all. Y'all are like the most beautiful people in the world.
Oh, what you talking? Oh, you're saying we're squares. You're saying we're not fun.
I mean, I ain't saying you're square, but you can build a house with no problem. You know what I
Wow.
mean? You know your dimensions. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's all we need to talk about. Unless y'all got anything, y'all have
No, that's it.
anything pressing y'all want to get off your chest.
No, my chest is empty.
Your chest. How you feeling, man? You feel good? You feel better?
No, I'm still under the weather.
Still under the weather?
I mean, just I have a lot of mucus still draining, but other than that, I feel okay.
You feel good? Okay. You know what I mean? Go ahead. You know what I mean? All right. Appreciate y'all rocking out with us. I am Animated Mel, Chris James, Stephen Michael. We'll see you beautiful people next time. Take care. Have a beautiful weekend and weekday.